Well, good morning. We have a nice program, and we need to start on time so we can get out of here on time. So, as usual, we'll have introductions, and I'll begin. My name is Willard McRae, and I chair this group.
Morgan, Middlesex Coalition for Children.
Brian O'Connor, Middlesex Chamber, State Representative.
Education.
Rick Starkey.
Kevin Wilhelm, Middlesex United Way.
Adrian Maslin, Middlesex Community College.
I'm Chris Lau, Regional Director at DCF. I'm Julie McGann, Director of Middletown DCF. Good morning, Kathy Lekowitz, Center for Community Partnerships at Lyman. Dawn Rico and Member Connecticut.
Vinny.
City Council. Member Frito, City Council.
Sonia Magnon, Wesleyan University.
Peter Buckmel, Department of Social Services.
Claire Shea, retired educator. Sheila Daniels, School Readiness Council and Board of Ed.
Jen Alexander, Kid City Children's Museum and McDonough PTA.
Sylvia Webb, Cromwell School Readiness.
Linda McDonald, the Family Advocacy Program at Middlesex Hospital.
Steve Garter, Middletown School Readiness.
Maureen Partika, Family Resource Centers.
Michelle Holman, YMCA.
Sue Hershey, Liberty Bank Foundation.
Ed Bonilla, Middlesex United Way.
Jon Romeo, McDonough School.
Steve McMahon, Healing Racism Coalition.
Betty Ingram, Weintraub, Liberty Bank Foundation.
And Mimi Rich. Okay. Betsy has a few announcements.
Just quickly, I'm going to pass around announcements for several different things. The second year of the Middletown Writer Coalition, the parent leadership programs and face-to-parent leadership occasions that are coming up right away, and in early care and education, a meeting with the leading federal official in early care and education that is coming up this Saturday. So we'll just pass that around. And I would also like to welcome Chris Lau, who is our new regional coordinator for DCF, coming to the and a Middletown resident. And thank her for coming to this meeting.
Thank you, Betsy. Michael Fischette will introduce our speaker rank as Superintendent of Schools in Middletown.
Thanks, Willard. John, come on, you can sit up front. Very friendly group. This is Jon Romeo, a principal over at McDonough School. This is John's third year over at McDonough. And John and his staff and the community has had a lot of success over at McDonough. And when we talk about topics back in, that's when the summertime, Willard, we thought it would be nice for John to come and talk about some of the success that he's had with his staff and the community over at McDonough School. John is very humble and doesn't like to take credit for a lot of his success. He shares that success with his staff and the community, which is well-deserved. And John has always kept his eye on the ball with regard to not only the test scores, but also the whole child in the community. He's done a really nice job with that. And it's a pleasure to have John. He came and spoke to us last year to the executive board, and a lot of nice things going on over there. So it's going to be terrific for everyone to hear the wonderful things that are going on over at McDonough.
Thank you.
It's all yours, John. And he has a hog, so
Definitely stay on time.
we'll stay on time.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very honored to represent McDonough School and share with you some of the things that have been happening at McDonough School. But before I start, I just wanted to share a brief story. My son, not too long ago, my youngest son, my baby, came to me and told me that his friends at school told him that there was no such thing as Santa Claus. And as a dad, that's, the pain of, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I asked him, what did you say to that? And he said, I told him, if there's no such thing as Santa Claus, where do all these presents come from? And I love that. I love that he's this logical kid, data, the whole thing. So he said, they said that your parents buy the presents. And he knew that right away that was a lie because, as he told me, there's no way you would buy me all that stuff. So I think about this little guy and I think that he finds it more believable that there's a man in a red suit, an old man with white hair in a red suit flying around the world in a sleigh filled with presents, pulled by reindeer. He finds that more believable than that I would spring for, you know, a Lego set and some video games. And the reason that I share this with you is because what's happening at McDonough, I feel it all comes down to believing. And in the same way that my son truly believes that there's no way I can buy those presents, my teachers and our learning community really believe that our kids can do it. And I think that's been the biggest change. And I'm going to talk about what Betsy asked me very simply to say what we've done and how we've done it. And I want to come back to that idea of believing, because I think it's the most important thing that's happened at McDonough School. So I'm going to start with what we've done. And if you know about the Connecticut Mastery Test, there are 5 levels on the Connecticut Mastery Test. It goes from level 1, which is below basic, up to level 5, which is that perfect score, and they call it advanced. So level 1, and kids at level 1 are struggling. Kids at level 1 are those neediest kids that require the most intensive resources. And we look at our comparisons from 2006 to 2009 in terms of how we've improved on the Connecticut Mastery Test, and we talk about it a lot. In 2006, in reading for our school, we had 47% of our children at level 1. And this isn't 47% of the kids not passing the test, it's 47% at the lowest level, 47% that are significantly below grade level and require intensive support to ever catch up. And as a school community, we looked at that 47% and felt this is not what we wanted to be as a school, it's not what we wanted for our kids, and we understood that it had implications throughout the district, because when you send kids on from elementary school reading that far below grade level, it has repercussions through the district. When you think about Kegman School and Woodrow Wilson Middle School, trying to provide the resources to catch those children up, it's much better done at the elementary level than at the middle school and beyond. We also recognize that that's not what we wanted for our children and our parents. We didn't want parents to send children to McDonough School with a 47% chance that they'd leave the school reading that far below grade level. And we put a lot of resources, our own resources, into making sure that that number would be reduced. And in 2009, we reduced that number from 47% to 16%. And while that's a great accomplishment, it's still not good enough for us. The idea that we still have 16% of children reading that far below grade level is something that we continue to struggle with. But in terms of addressing that population of children, the population of children who are struggling the most, we feel reducing that was a significant accomplishment. We also looked at the other side. We looked at that level 5. And level 5, we think of it as the perfect score in the CMT. It's the highest you can get. It's the advanced level. And we think about what that means to our kids to leave elementary school at a level 5. That's your ticket to many good things to come. And in addition to it being your ticket that you're proficient and above at reading, writing, or math, in some school districts, it's your ticket into advanced level courses. It's your ticket into the advanced math course or the advanced reading course, or it's your ticket into being identified as a gifted or talented student. In 2006, we had 4 scores in our 5th grade. When we looked at our 5th grade across reading, writing, and math, we had 4 scores of level 5. And again, as a school community, we looked at that and felt that we could do better. We felt that our kids are just as talented as kids across the city, across the state, and given the right resources and the right instruction, that we could make a difference there with our best and brightest kids. In 2009, we looked again at our level 5, and we went from 4 scores of level 5 up to 25 scores of level 5. And that was something that we celebrated very much at McDonough School, that we recognized that we were sending 25 students up with that score of a level 5, either in reading or writing or math. The other thing that was, I guess, a big change for us from 2006 to 2009 was our standing among the city schools. And when we look at the Connecticut Mastery Test, for many years, McDonough School was